Okay, I'm Deana. I'm an alcoholic. So glad to be here. This is hard. This is not my jam speaking at all. But you know what I am? I'm another alcoholic. And this is my story. And it's just not about how I present, but it's sharing the message. And, my sponsors did a real quick text to me. She's like, share on your alcoholic, just the story, the little bit of the what qualifies me and what happened and what's like now. So, I was one of those typical kids. I grew up with black and white situations. I had a really amazing grandma and I had a really horrible grandma, and it was my horrible grandma was an alcoholic, and she was cruel and she was mean and she was God bless her. Now I know that I can pray for her and pray for her soul wherever that may be, but she was a miserable human being, and so she created misery, and I looked at that as good and bad. My good grandma was love and light and beauty, and my bad grandma was dark and evil and scary, and that was how I created my life, good or bad, all or nothing. I experienced that my entire life. I was either in or out. I was I was accepted or I was rejected. There was never in between. Whether those dichotomies ever really were true or not, I have no idea. It was my experience that everything was either all in or all out, and a lot of times that just left me miserable because I didn't know if I wanted to be in with where I felt I was accepted. I wanted to be in always somewhere else, and I never found my place. And I drank a lot, started at 14, um, and it didn't solve my problems. It made me feel even more. It made me feel like I fit in with the people that I was hanging out with at 14 and 15 and 16, but I was scared. I was a scared human being. I never felt loved or accepted in my own mind. And so as drinking persisted, at 17, I grew up in Bellevue, and um, all of my friends were all the Lake Sammamish kids, and we were single mom. We called our car the welfare wagon and did our things, and so we were even kind of dynamic in the Bellevue world. And so I ended up moving at 17, packed my car, moved to Alsea, Oregon, went to a K through 12 school, went from a class of 800 at Sammamish High School to a class of 12. My senior class had 12 people, and I was found my place. I was a big fish in a little pond. We all drank heavy. We went out into the woods, chopped down trees. We had timber fellers in our midst, so we would go logging and drink and party and play. And I thought, this is it. This is it. And so at 18 and 19, I fell in love with a timber faller, and we were off to races. We drank hard and had so much fun. But then I thought, okay, so I don't know if I can fit in this world anymore. I don't know if I can fit with all this small community. So my girlfriend and I, we took off, moved to California, left everything behind, got in our car, packed everything we had, moved to California, went to, I don't know California, I know it a little bit better now, but I moved to Modesto, California, and her dad was a Hell's Angel. We moved in with Tracy, and his whole home had 3 other men living there. They were all Hell's Angels, so we went riding with the Hell's Angels, and I was like, this is fun. And we were like these little angels, and they took such good care. They were straight up, these particular Hell's Angels, maybe other aren't, but these particular Hell's Angels were criminals. But not saying that that's the case with everybody, but I didn't care. They took care of us like we were treasured. We were so pampered. We were taken care of. We could go to, at 19, I could go to any bar. All I had to do was walk in with one of the guys. Nobody questioned me. We went into any bar we want. Started drinking heavy and started knowing that being an adult with this particular situation, I was over my head. And I knew that those things were happening. And once you start getting into drugs, I knew I don't like this. I don't like cocaine because all you want is more. So I just want to drink, and I want to slow my roll. So once again, packed my car. It was December 21st, and moved home. Drove all by myself from California to back home to Seattle. Spent one night in Portland with a friend, and I told my mom, I'm an alcoholic. My life is absolutely out of control. I do things I don't want to do, and I don't have any idea who I am, how I'm going to do this. I never graduated from high school. I need to go back to college. I need to figure this out. So I went to the Bellevue Alano Club on 1191, and this old man sitting in his chair, smoking a cigarette way in the back of the room. His name was Lee, and he said, little one, sit your ass down, put cotton in your mouth, take it out of your ears, don't say a word, and don't you effing drink until your ass is falling off. And I'm like, my ass is falling off. He's like, don't drink even if your ass is falling off. So I went to the Alano Club daily, weekly, it became my life. Everything was social about the fellowship. Everything was a fellowship, social, fellowship, softball, fun, dances, YSPCA or whatever, I don't know what it was, some young dances and parties and picking boyfriends out of this whole pool of we'd all switch around, and not in that way that it is today, but a little different. But so it was always that kind of dynamic. So I ended up getting married to an amazing alcoholic. We had our kids, we were sober, we were happy, we were having a great time. And on my third child, I came home and he had a needle in his arm, and he'd been using he was a ICU nurse and life flight, and he was using Demerol and cocaine, and I didn't know. So I tried really hard to try to figure this out and tried to support, and I couldn't do it. So I left him, and so I left him. I thought, I'm leaving this AA thing behind me too, because I don't know God. I don't know anything about how really this works. I just knew how to be in fellowship. I need to be fun and sober. So I started drinking at 31 as a single mom. My life became crazy really quick. I moved home to Bellevue with my mom. Custody issues, all the drama, all the stuff. And my drinking, it was 7 on, 7 off in custody. So I was 7 on, little good mom, tried to pull everything together and just bake cookies before they came home from school, just total lies. And my drinking was crazy. And so I could not stop drinking. My kids are now in their 20s. I am far from 31. 2 years ago, I could not stop drinking. I could not. I went to 8 meetings, but drank. I had wine in my sippy cup, came into meetings, had my little coffee. I always get nervous even when I see flasks and things like that. I know. I was like, hey, there was never water in those flasks of mine. So I would try so hard, and I was trying to surrender with wine in my sippy cup. I could not surrender. And one day, I knew I was going to Zoom meetings, that whole Zoom thing. I tried. I lived in North Bend at the time, and I tried to go to AA, and I got 6 months, and I'd get 4 months, and the thing that really got me was that God thing. And so for me, I can talk it's in my heart of hearts. I longed for a relationship with God. I just failed at doing what you told me to do to get there, because I didn't feel worthy, or whatever dynamics. I would just take it on myself. I'll take care of this. I'll do this. I've got this. And so for me, surrender has been really hard for me. And that's not because of desire. It's not because I don't want to surrender. If you gave me a formula to surrender, I would surrender. I would be I mean, if it means crawling on my knees to get to a place of surrender, to understand and be a part of the world where people are faithful, I would do it. I just don't know how to be quiet and get that place. I am an action-oriented person. I'm a single mom. I'm 3 babes. So I only know how to do things to get to the next place. And so for me, it's a quiet, long road for me to consistently just show up, do the very next best thing for me to do, to love and be loved by people that I still, at this point in my life, I think I know what time means. When I was in my 20s and even I didn't know how precious time was. I know how precious time is now as a single mom with grandkids and kids and life and family and work. It, it means the world to me that my sponsor and people in my life will give me the time that is so precious to us and share it with me. And I would share my life with any newcomer. I would gladly, and I have to remember that I am just as, I hate worthy is such a crazy word, but I'm just as honored to be a part of that love and gift of time. And so for me, I really every single day I surrender a little bit more. Um, and again, I am one that wants warm fuzzy God. I want a Santa Claus God. I want things to happen. I want the magic. And I'm coming to terms with the fact that I know for me that I'm okay with life circumstances now that I'm sober. I know that life does not mean that's going to be great, and I get to have all that I want. Um, I get to show up. I get to listen to AA speakers in my car. I get to share with people that I love, that I'm talking at a Saturday night, meeting with my people in my life. This is good to me. This is good. My sister's 40th birthday is going on, and I was driving over here and I had all these sparkles all over my face because my niece had put sparkles on me, and I was like, this is a good day. This is a good day. I still want family as much as I want anything, but now I know that AA is my family. Without AA, drinking for me is just disconnection and just reiteration of the disconnection that I feel already internally. It's just more reinforcement that life can be lived miserably, but you can surely put on a happy face. And so, so grateful. Again, my slow, continual surrender means that I show up and I do a little bit more each day. I show up and I give a little bit. And again, I want somebody to tell me what to do, so it'll be better. I'll figure this out. It'll change. Life, the circumstances will change, and that's just not how it is. It's I get to show up and be a person involved in my life, involved in service. I think that's I'm a doer, so I'm involved in district and want to get involved with the corrections chair, and I can do things, but still internally it's just about that dialogue where we get to participate and pray and meditate and take the quiet moments that are so precious and so rare in an alcoholic's life, and be reminded that that is what's going to change us, just a little bit more each day. And yeah, I'm forever grateful. So thank you all for letting me share. Wonderful.